All right, this is the first video of Q1 for me. I've got some goals ending March 31st, which will probably continue, but just be modified. But this is something I want to do to be more accountable and put out some of what I'm shooting for, and I'll tell you why. So I have a few goals to get to over the next few months, and one of those is to have a six pack. And it's a silly goal on the face of it, but ultimately, the reason why is it is evidence of effective dietary change. And as you can see in the next goal, not having alcohol for 90 days is part of that. And I believe for myself, while I don't drink to drunkenness, occasionally, the last year I've been drunk, but um, I usually will have a glass or two of wine, for example, per day. And it's just a habit now. And I believe removing the alcohol from my diet for a while and getting to where it's just less in general will help me get to having a six pack and being healthier, being fitter, being more mentally clear for my work and all of that. So, the six pack is really an evidence of effective dietary changes, including less drinking. Um, Target for also an evidence of fitness improvements, regular exercise. So that's the reason that's one of the goals. It's a measure of the goal. Now, no alcohol for 90 days. The reason for this is to improve mental effectiveness. We all know that drinking has after effects. It's not just in the moment, but like the next day, you're not as clear, you're more brain fog, you're not functioning as highly as you could. And in my business, I need to be at the top of my game. This is a simple choice I can make day after day to improve my business success. So, improve mental effectiveness, reduce physical drain through alcohol, consuming nutrients instead of adding value. So I'm not saying this in a super technical way, but when you drink, it consumes certain nutrition and nutrients necessary for the processing of alcohol in the liver. And so what I'm saying here is I want to reduce the physical drain by leaving more of those nutrients available for my body, for healing muscles that are sore or, you know, skin, whatever my body needs to do that's for its health versus just for having a drink because it tastes good. So that's the another reason for that one, um, to support getting a six pack. I believe after, let's say a year, a lot of the inflammation and fat deposition from alcohol consumption will be reduced or eliminated for me. And something to know there is alcohol promotes estrogen. I think I'm not sure how to say that properly, but it impacts estrogen levels in a male. Men and women have estrogen and testosterone, just different amounts. So that's the other reason for this is reducing alcohol will help reduce that estrogen dominance or increase. Now, 12 books read, the reason for that is continuous improvement. In my business, I have to come up with solutions for my clients regularly, and it can be tactical solutions or strategic. I'm usually learning about their industry and have to be creative in the sense of seeing like where the gaps are in their markets and how they can guide their product development. So a lot of mental attention has to be given and strain is experienced. So when I'm reading books, what's good about that is in, adds new ideas and perspectives. When I get that outlet, it helps me think better about the work I'm doing for my clients. So I'm going to be investing in getting that done. The current book I'm reading is The Sales Machine. I want 10 clients for my company. Right now I have five. So I want to have doubled that by March 31st, 2026. It's very achievable. It just takes some consistent effort and gut and focus to do that. And this will be attained if by the 31st I have signed 10 clients altogether, like where they're still active and working with me. Active clients, I should say, not just one-off clients. Reflectively, let's see, this would reflect income of, let's say, if I had 10 clients versus now, probably reflect an income of 20K per month at least. That's reasonable. And that's in terms of after subcontractors and expenses. I want my daughter to cover these elements of homeschooling. The reason for it is it's a progress point for these to be achieved. So I'll have to work on that, but that's the reason why. I want to make sure she's making progress. Now, 75K in revenue in Q1 is definitely attainable. It's going to have to come in the form of commissions as well as retainers, most likely. So what's good about this goal is if I'm doing well with my clients, they should be making at least twice, basically, I should be making twice the retainer. So if I'm doing that, 75K is very much a possibility. For example, if I'm making 10K right now, if I'm in commissions making another 10K, that's 20,000 within 1 month. So over the next few months, if I see that happen, there's definitely room for me to hit this number. It aligns incentives to to goals. Have to make double my retainer with each client per month to hit this number. Cooked once a week. So something that is a pain point in my relationship is I don't cook very much. It's because I'm swamped with work and other tasks that I get lost in. But my goal is to develop my ability to cook and support the family that way over the course of this year. So if I cook once a week, I'll have cooked 52 times at least within the year and should have some ability to make pasta without thinking too hard about it. So I'm gonna cook once a week. Probably do that on the weekends. Develop cooking abilities. Uh, serve my wife and kids. Be able to feed my children better food in, for each meal more easily. So these are my goals. I'm just putting this out and I'll review it each day and talk about how things went. But for example, today I'm not going to have any alcohol. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to work on the 10 clients. I'm going to work on some homeschooling for my daughter. I'm going to figure out how to get towards that 75K in revenue, which is mostly just by doing sales for my clients. And then I am going to plan a little bit for the next meal I'm going to make for this next week since I cooked pasta yesterday. So I'll try to make something different this weekend. All right. Thanks for watching. And if this helps you, if you want to make your own goals and be doing this with me over the next 90 days or next quarter, you're welcome to join. Thanks.